let's start it with the very beginning. So we are starting with the most fundamental function form, which is a linear form. So the linear function is the function in which the independent variable is of power 1, which is omitted. So here the independent variable in our habit is x and the dependent variable is y, right? So here is the first form, which is referred to as the standard form. That is in which we write x and y with their corresponding coefficients together on the left-hand side of the equation, and on the right-hand side of the equation is the constant isolated along. Okay, so this expression may be a little bit new to you. Okay, let's turn to the corresponding slide, 1.1. Here, it's basically what it is. So x and y are variables, and as mentioned, x is independent and y is dependent by our habit, by our norms, and a and b and c, they are parameters. So what does this mean? Parameters means letters that represent known numbers or constants. So here we are just using those abstract generalized A, B, C letter to stand for those numbers, but actually in the real example, that is A is 4, B is -2, C is 12. Okay, so those are what parameters mean. Those mean constants. Okay, but x and y, they stand for a series of numbers. X could be 0, x could be 1, could be 2, could be anything, and correspondingly we will have a wide range of y as well. So that's how do you perceive this. So now let's turn to this. 4x minus 2y equals to 12. So that is a function. Now if x equal to 2, we're gonna solve this, solve y by hand and use solver. Okay, so let's first solve this by hand. Here is the example that we just mentioned. 4x minus 2y equals to 12. So this is a linear function. Recall that ax plus by equals to c. That is the standard form of a line. So here, for each, so this is just to express a line like this, right? And here is the x-axis and y-axis, and each point on this line has two coordinates: the width, the height. So here we know x, then we need to figure out the y of the corresponding point whose width is 2, and then the question is, what is the height of this point on this line? Okay, so this point is on this line, so we're going to take this x equal to 2 into this function. So that is 4 by 2. I'm using a dot to stand for the multiplication because the cross looks like x, so I just use dot to avoid confusion. Minus 2y equals to 12. All right, then we can move things around. So here it is 8 minus 2y equals to 12, and we keep minus 2y on the left-hand side of the equation. 12 stays wherever it is. And then 8, what do? We move this to the right-hand side of the equation. And as you move this, you need to change the sign. So the result is minus 2y equals to 4. So now we divide minus 2 to both sides of the equation. We have y star equals to minus 2. So the point on this line whose height corresponding to a width as 2 is minus 2. So here I'm just using this to demonstrate. So in that case, this is not an accurate line. This line should look like 2 and minus 2, something like this. Possibly this way. We're gonna get more into graphing in the next module.